Ladies took their seats at their allocated table. You always watch the people who know about this. Anyway, ladies took their seats at their allocated table, and then the men looked for where their first allocated speed date was to begin. Janene was at table 8, lucky for some. James had table 8 for his first 5-minute speedy encounter. So what did these two think of each other initially? Here it is in their own words. Janene told me, silver fox. I didn't notice him on the first scan of the word. James, upper middle bogey. Dressed from top to bottom in black. She's changed a bit. Black leggings, black top, a potential petrol head, he thought. Things are looking up. Now, on this particular night, because numbers were short, what was scheduled to be a 5-minute circuit with an interlude turned into a 15-minute chat session. Lucky them. They never saw each other in the break, however, but at the end, with everyone's cards filled in and a couple of wines on board for Dutch courage, James approached Janene and asked if he could walk her to her car. She was impressed by his chivalry and agreed. What she didn't know was he wanted to see what sort of car she had. Anyway, on seeing the car, James thought, well, that's confirmed, but she's definitely a petrol. That is no girl's car. He mused to himself while asking her if she was to give him her number, and he phoned her. Might she agree to go out with him on another date at some stage? Well, you do, that's what she So Saturday night, they found themselves together at Aubergine restaurant, where we're all going to retire to later for the reception, and with a firm resolve to share the much-awaited cheese platter at the end of dinner. More about the cheese platter when we get there. Despite Janene's complete and utter lack of flirting skills giving anything away, another date was proposed by James just in case it was more than her just being nice to everyone. What was going on? We did think she seemed pretty keen, though, after all. It wasn't long before they fell to spending more time together. Dinners, movies, other outings, weekends away, meeting each other's children. And after a while, James came out with the not-so-romantic quote, if I was to ask you to marry me, would you say yes? In negotiating terms, that's called a, testing the clothes. You're not saying I will marry you. Will you? It's a fair balance. Anyway, to which Janene replied with a cheeky, she's a master negotiator as well, with a cheeky smile. You'll need to ask me to find out. A few weeks later came the next question. If I did ask you to marry me, would I need to have the ring, or should we choose it together? So Janene thought, so he seems pretty serious about this. So she replied, definitely would need a ring, and we'd need to have chosen. So after a few more, nothing happens quickly, so after a few more weeks of hearing nothing, James asked Janene if she had seen any sparkles that she liked the look of. And Janene said, well, thought to herself, he really is serious about this. I'd better start looking, as he's an awesome catch, and he makes me feel very happy.
No. Oh.
Being a whisk away for her birthday up north at a surprise location, which I'll tell you about in a minute, was just the inspiration. A stop off at JD Design in Whangarei to view the Make Me Yours Oval Solitaire Diamond. Nice, but those pretty unset tanzanite stones were also very gorgeous. Paihia's Dalton Lodge was incredible. This was the mystery location. A truly romantic retreat, and Kerry proved to be a very special shopping mecca, where after a relaxed morning coffee, they stumbled across Gemtine Jewellers in the main road, and the most magnificent oval tanzanite and diamond ring. Janene couldn't wipe the smile on her face. And definitely wasn't keen to take the ring off her finger. Just, you know, was test right. However, with much hesitation and regret, she handed back the gorgeous ring, which she named Tansy. And she said, Tansy, I do hope that we'll be reunited. James thought, well, I better ask John and check, you know, if he's okay with this hitching bit. And this definitely upper-bogan chick who's very keen on sparkle. John was in town for his annual Benny Boys lunch. And I'll have to chat with him, thought James, when he's on his own at our place. Janene finally disappeared upstairs. Well, oh no, John had fallen asleep on the couch. Does he do that often, Janene? He does. Okay. And he thought, oh, well, I'll ask him in the morning. But alas, the reason he goes to sleep at night is because he gets up very early in the morning, like his daughter does. And he had left with the birds, so he missed them again, didn't he? Oh, well, he went to plan B. I'll just have to propose and hope it's okay with him. And it is time to stop procrastinating and put her out of her misery, waiting to see Tansy again. So on November the 23rd, 2013, ring box hidden, they headed out to Pinot Plus and Takapuna for dinner. Just like any other night. But of course, it wasn't. And with beads of sweat on his brow, just about to be out. They were the last diners left, he really struck it out. He quickly asked, so, would you please marry me? Very polite chap, isn't he? As he opened the ring box to reveal Tansy, well, that pinched the deal, didn't it? In all her sparkling glory, and passed it to Janene. So excited to see Tansy again, she very quickly said yes. And not surprised to be asked, of course, because she'd got a few clues along the way. So there was a resounding from Janene, yes, I'd love to, as Jane slipped Tansy onto him.
No.
So then off to Aubergine, so they'd had enough of this other place, where it all began for a celebratory drink. Only a little surprised by the proposal, Janene then presented James with a fabulous pair of sterling silver motocross bike cufflinks. He said she wore it off.
No.
He was to wait another 12 months for his engagement ring, but that's another story for another day. The following day they were out at motocross trail bike, and there was no rally, and there was no coverage for the mobile phones, so they needed to tell the parents and the boys. First, of course, before anyone else. Well, they were both fussing to tell someone. With coverage back on the way home, Janene texted her friend Julie. Where's Julie? Julie, to let her know the exciting news. Unfortunately, excitement was soon to turn to despair when the next day at an off-site in Wellington, with the ring hidden in her bag until her dad had been told, they were trying to keep her on this point, Janene lost her as yet uninsured ring. There would be no unveiling of the ring that night. And what was she going to tell Jay? With tears and distress, Janene called Julie to let her know what was happening. And then as they searched the room high and low, their boss Martin called, asking if they were coming to dinner any time soon, as if it had arrangement. Janene tearfully explained that she and James were engaged, and now she'd lost the ring. He's going to kill me. Martin calmly talked her through looking through all of her bag again, explaining to her that's where she placed it, and that's where it will be. That's sort of male logic, isn't it? Women know better. Emptying the bag for the third time, and still no ring. So check out all the linings, says Martin. And there, in the far bottom, right-hand corner, there's a small tear. And there was Tansy hiding. She locked herself tightly in the corner, keeping out of harm's way, just waiting for the right moment. Oh, the relief as Janene wriggled her out and placed her safely and firmly on her feet. The hugest relief ever washed over her as they left to join the others for dinner and explained where they have been and why they are late. Just to finish, on telling James about what had happened, his cool and calm response was, yeah, but you found it. That's all good, don't worry. Take it off your finger again, and don't ever take it off your finger again. As always, he was Janene's steady and calm rock.
No.
Well, he's as big a rock as Tansy, but he was all. Since then, there have been engagement parties, as you'll be aware, meeting of one another's friends and families, numerous trips away together, lots of fun getting to know each other's boys, and at least 3 potential wedding dates, I know of at least, with numerous venues booked and cancelled. There's been a honeymoon in Hawaii, good idea to get that in before. Last November, and finally wedding bands chosen, and today, P.S. But the dress. Well, that's a story we'll save for another day. Needless to say, it's now been waiting for over 18 months to finally get its unveiling, but isn't it worth it? We are, yeah. They want me to tell you, because they've told me just how so excited they are about their new family clan, the 6 of them, and what's ahead of all of them together and individually. Or a PPS. They're very proud of the boys. Each one very unique and talented, the brightest futures ahead of them. They feel incredibly honoured to be part of their worlds, and they want you to know that they thank them for their love and support, and they both promise to be their strongest advocates and supporters always. So here we are, a little while since table for six, and since the final, how long since the final proposal? Well, yeah, all those proposals, and James and Janene have invited all of you, their families and their friends here to share in their wedding. So I think it's appropriate at this stage. How's the ring going? We're just filling in while the ring. Oh, good man. So let us have another reading now, and this time it's from one of James's long-time friends, whose name I can never pronounce. You can tell us, Aluna. That's right, Aluna. They would put the emphasis on the wrong syllable. Yes, if you read from there, that's wonderful. But read it to them, it's for them, isn't it?